There we go. I still have the Surf available after this turn if Palkia survives. Palkia misses a Hydro Pump. Classic. Just an absolutely classic Pokemon experience there. They'll get Whoa, 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 okay. Welcome back to VGC Legends, the series where I spin a wheel to get a random legendary Pokemon and then build a team on the spot featuring that Pokemon to use on the VGC Regulation I ladder. I do that for a couple of reasons. One is that I just like legendary Pokemon and think they're cool and want to try a bunch of them out, but the other is because it can be fun to speed build a bunch of teams, some of which will be good, some of which will surely be bad, see what kinds of weird game situations I get myself into, and have a lot of fun playing with a wide variety of teams along the way. So, let's see what today's legendary Pokemon is. Hope the wheel gives me something good. Gen 4? Palkia? Nope. Yes. Oh, I thought it had gotten to Heatran, but no, it is Palkia. Alright, let's see what we can do with that. Okay, so Palkia is again a Pokemon that has two different forms, so I'll have to choose which one I'm going to use here. Origin form Palkia, of course, does not get any item other than the Lustrous Globe, although that's not the worst thing in the world. But if I want a Choice Scarf or I don't know, a Covert Cloak or something, I'll have to use Altered Palkia. Otherwise, there's a difference to their stats, and I don't remember what it is. Altered Palkia, 150 special attack, 100 speed. Those are the main things. Some decent bulk, too. Origin Palkia, 120 speed. Okay. Basically... Oh, not basically. That is just what it is. It moves 20 points from attack to speed. Well, that seems like a good trade-off, and I don't think I mind the Lustrous Globe too much, so we'll go with Origin Palkia here. Now, I faced a Palkia team in a global challenge, or no, grand challenge, the last grand challenge that I thought was kind of funny. I think they paired it with Wellspring Mask. I'm typing Wellspring. That still works. I think they paired it with Wellspring Mask, Ogerpon, and they spammed Surf. So that Ogerpon was healed with Water Absorb. And then Palkia also did damage. I don't know if that's actually good. Well, it's probably not, but it seems kind of fun. So let's give it a try. I'll bring Tornadus, I think, because I think I want Rain if I'm spamming Surf with Palkia. And I also think that the flying coverage from Bleak Windstorm could be valuable here. But what is the other restricted Pokemon? I have not chosen that yet. Obviously, I could go Kyogre. That's then 3 water types almost immediately. Just loading up on water type offense. But that would give me Rain. I could do something like Zacian that kind of benefits from Rain. Or Ice Rider Calyrex. Ice Rider Calyrex could be cool. Yeah, I don't think I need another water type restricted here. I think a physical restricted that at least has its defensive profile improved by Rain is fine here. I could make this a Tail Room team with Ice Rider Calyrex and... I could even bring Ursaluna because I can run Telepathy on Palkia. And click Earthquake next to it. I don't know if that's good, but it's something I can do. Alright, what would that look like? Ice Rider... Ursaluna... What would the last Pokemon be? Smeargle? Decorate Smeargle? That's fun, I like it. Alright, I'm not confident that this team is any good, but I've talked myself into thinking that it's going to be fun. There are probably some huge gaps in its coverage, though, right? But you know what? That's just going to happen with this series sometimes. But yeah, being able to decorate the Palkia, and then get the Ogerpon next to it, would be fun. Does Wide Guard kind of ruin my day? It might. It really might. Yeah. Tail mode of this Tail Room team seems pretty dubious, but this is a series for trying out fun ideas, so I'm going to fill in the sets, and we'll get going on the ladder. Alright, here it is. Pokepaste is being a little weird, but it's showing up well enough. A couple of moves are cut off. Smeargle's last move is Decorate, and Ursaluna's is Protect. Nothing too unusual there. Yeah, this team looks pretty silly. I don't know when I'm ever clicking Earthquake with Ursaluna next to Palkia, but hey, I have the option if I want. Terra Water Palkia just with stabs, just looking to get that big surf damage. That's all there is to it. Palkia is such a weird Pokemon right now because a long time ago it had a good speed tier for a restricted, but now of course it's slower than Koraidon, Miraidon, Shadow Rider, Zacian, but we'll see what we can do with it. Otherwise, things are, I think, pretty normal here on this team. Nothing too out there. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump on the ladder. Yeah, I don't know about this Palkia Wellspring Mask Ogerpon duo, but I saw it in the Grand Challenge and thought it looked kind of fun. Did I? I can't remember. I think I lost to it. Maybe I won. I don't remember. Okay. There's a Miraidon Ice Rider team, but it doesn't look like it has much of a Trick Room mode. I could Trick Room against it. But then what am I doing with Palkia? Alright, let's just keep it simple. For the first game of the video. Okay, got Iron Boulder and Incineroar. Not really what I want to see. But I guess I can Tailwind here and lose Tornadus to Mighty Cleave and not get Rain up. But I think that's fine. Also, I was going to Protect Calyrex, but now I remember Mighty Cleave goes through Protect. Sack Ogerpon. Or probably not Sack, but... Okay, they didn't anticipate the Covert Cloak, I guess. They taunt Tornadus. So I don't get Rain Dance here, but not for the reason I thought. I'll just Bleak Wind then, that's fine. And I would like to have a restricted Pokemon on the board, but I thought they would potentially go for Mighty Cleave into Calyrex there. I'll just take the Ivy Cudgel into Iron Boulder, I guess. Okay, they protect it, fair enough. Let's see Incineroar going for. Could have knocked it out there. Knock off into Tornadus, okay. Let's do this again, keep it simple for now. I am already starting to run out of Tailwind turns, but probably lose to Miraidon. That's okay, first game with this team. Ninetales switches in. So they've only brought one restricted, at most. Or Water Boulder, okay. Survives. But it goes for a taunt into, I guess, anticipating something to switch into the Tornado slot. Last turn of Tailwind. They can just protect through it if they have Protect on Ninetales. I do think the Boulder will protect, and it does. Ninetales doesn't. Land the Bleak Wind, land the Ivy Cudgel. And will we find out which restricted they brought? I mean, probably Miraidon, right? This Boulder has only clicked Taunt and Protect so far. And there I was covering for Mighty Cleave. It's the Ice Rider. Okay. Tornadus is no longer taunted. They do give it that snow boost, I guess. The defense boost. I'll just Tailwind and Horn Leech the Boulder here, I think. Knocks that out. Get Trick Room. Okay. Yeah. Alright, fair enough. Let's see if they let me Rain Dance here. Nah, they won't, right? They click Glacial Lance, they knock out Tornadus. I'm thinking about whether it's better to switch my Calyrex in. To deny theirs getting to +1. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just going to click Rain Dance. Spiky Shield. Maybe I should click Ivy Cudgel into... Oh no, they did fake out Ogerpon. Okay. Yeah, they do get +1 here. I am going to go my Calyrex. I'm going to protect it this turn. Terrastalize Ogerpon to resist the Glacial Lance and Ivy Cudgel and Incineroar. That does so much damage still. Okay, but we do avoid a Flare Blitz. Knock out Incineroar. Only their Calyrex remains, and I will High Horsepower it here and Spiky Shield through the last turn of Trick Room. I guess I could have reversed the Trick Room, but This works out fine, I think. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay, they just forfeited. Alright, that's fine. That game went much more smoothly than I anticipated, but my opponent's team was kind of odd too, but I didn't get Palkia into it, so we'll try to work on that. Here we have a Zamazenta Miraidon team. These Miraidon... this is the problem with running Palkia right now, right? I'm recording this right at the end of May. The Bologna Championship is going on right now as I'm recording. And so at this point in the meta, Miraidon is everywhere. It's only like 40% of teams. And that's really bad for Palkia because Miraidon is faster and knocks it out. This person might not have Tailwind. They might have it on the Volcarona. It's possible. Alright, you know what? We're just going to lead Palkia Tornadus this game. And we're going to see what that does. We'll bring these the same 4 again, but in a different order. Zamazenta, Miraidon. Okay. I kind of want to just Spatial Rend the Miraidon immediately, but they could Terra Fairy. I guess I can protect a Scout for that. And we'll just go straight for my Tailwind. They also can knock out Tornadus, but at least I get the Tailwind first. One time, at least. And then as soon as it wears off, I lose to Miraidon. Maybe I need to be bringing Ursaluna to these, or maybe I need a Terrain Setter on this team. Rillaboom or Indeedee. Oh well. Terra Ghost. Okay. It makes sense. They don't have a Farigiraf. I'm just not used to seeing it. Miraidon is usually looking for more damage with its Terra type, whatever that is. I guess there's no value in Calyrex here, really. I think I'm better off just going Ogerpon and clicking Surf. Let's do it. Let's make the Surf play. I can Terra Water too. But then I lose even harder to Miraidon? Can I lose harder to Miraidon? Or do I just lose equally hard to it regardless? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should Hydro Pump here. Nah. The thing is, it's not like Ogerpon is actually going to heal when it doesn't get a chance to take any damage first. I missed the KO on Grimmsnarl. Yeah, if I'd Hydro Pumped Grimmsnarl, then Palkia might have looked respectable here, but let's see. We'll go for it again, the light screen. But we will knock out the Grimmsnarl here. We're getting some chip on the Zamazenta. That spread damage is kind of coming in handy. We get that clutch Ivy Cudgel crit as well. Boosted crit rate on that move, of course. There is one turn of Tailwind left, and Miraidon is forced onto the field now. And it probably doesn't have Protect, because they usually don't. And it's running Terra Ghost, I think to avoid Fake Out, because it can't Protect around it. What's the last? Ditto. It's going to turn into Palkia. That's pretty rough for me. Okay, which is the more important target here? I think it's still the Miraidon. So we're just gonna. I'm just gonna. Get Spatial Rend. Yeah, I'll go for 2 boosted crit moves into Miraidon and hope that one of them comes through. Basically, I can Terrasilize the Ogerpon too. Actually, get the special defense boost. Okay. Also, if it's somehow not Scarf Ditto, then it could Protect. Probably is Scarf Ditto. It didn't Protect. We don't get any crits. And we don't get any KOs. Ditto knocks out Palkia, turning its own Spatial Rend against it. I guess I'll go Calyrex here. I guess I'll Protect through the last turn of the Electric Terrain. And then maybe it would be nice to still have the Grass Terra available, but I did use the Terra on Ogerpon instead. Oh well. I don't know that I beat Ditto anyway. So Palkia is coming through in this game, just not for the right team, unfortunately. Yeah, that's what happens sometimes, I guess. I should Trick Room first, right? Because I'm not going to one-shot Palkia. It's good to underspeed it the rest of the way. Doesn't really matter, because I'm going to lose anyway, but I think Trick Room first is correct in a situation like that. Yeah, now I lose to Palkia. Wait. I needed to miss a Spatial Rend regardless, so let's see if it does. No, it didn't. No, Palkia is too good. It doesn't miss, even when it's a Ditto. Alright, next. Let's see if Palkia can do some work for my team. I mean, it did some work in that game. It just didn't pay off. Another Miraidon, so I think that's 3 for 3 now. But this one doesn't have Tailwind. So I think I can just lead Palkia Tornadus. Ideally, they lead Kyogre and set the rain up for me. And apologies to Ursaluna and Smeargle, but I don't see either of you in the thumbnail. Maybe we'll get you into a game at some point. Probably not the correct 2 Pokemon for those last slots. But that's what happens when you're speed building on the spot sometimes. And who knows, maybe we'll get a game where I just really want to click Trick Room even though Palkia is bad in it. Is Palkia even bad in Trick Room with all these Miraidon teams running around? Maybe not if I see one with the Whimsicott and stuff. Okay, scout the Miraidon and Tailwind like last game. See what that gets us. What a fake out, that's nice. Go straight for Dazzling Gleam, but no Terra. Well, I want to click Spatial Rend here, but they could Terra this time. Well, let's hope they don't. That's how it goes sometimes, right? Yeah, they do. Okay. They also Thunder Wave Palkia, so the Tailwind is not helpful to it. It just gets one shot. Tornadus is also knocked out. Hey, I have Ogerpon and Calyrex with 2 turns of Tailwind left. I've seen worse positions. They can still Thunder Wave, though. But they can miss Thunder Wave. This is Gen 9. You could miss your Thunder Wave. So please, by all means, do. You can Ivy Cudgel the Grimmsnarl. Try to get rid of that. Capitalize if it does miss a Thunder Wave. Bring Kyogre in. They land the Thunder Wave into my Calyrex. One-shot the Grimmsnarl with that Ivy Cudgel. Okay, I mean, the Kyogre's chipped. It's not going to be able to just blast with Water Spout anymore. I'll Horn Leech it, and honestly, Terra Grass Calyrex looks pretty strong here. Quick Trick Room. Try to turn the Paralysis into an asset. Kyogre has Protect. I don't know whether a lot of them do now or not. I feel like I'm always running Choiced Kyogre in my content, and of course, Assault Vest Kyogre was big for a while. But maybe people are running Protect on it. I don't know. There have been Combine sets that have done well. Okay, full para. Chowdon underspeeds Ogerpon. I don't think I have any speed investment in this Ogerpon. Maybe 4 EVs. And we're fully paralyzed again. Okay, well, that one was just not meant to be. Maybe letting Palkia go down to that Miraidon was a bit of a problem. Alright, another Miraidon. I think that's 4 for 4 now. This one's on a Dondozo team. Hey, you know what? I could crit Dondozo with Spatial Rend. That's not that crazy. This one has no Tailwind, but they do have probably Electric Seed, Unbird, and Sneasler. But alright, I am going to learn one lesson. I'm going to lead the Calyrex with the Tornadus this time, and put Palkia in the back. There we go. I'll learn one thing in the course of this laddering session, and that's what it is. Okay, Miraidon Sneasler. So we're going to see that Electric Seed now, I think. Yep. There's Tailwind. And cover for Fake Out Sneasler. This is tricky, actually, because I mean, this is probably a known thing that I'm just catching on to right now. It's not like Electric Seed Sneasler is new, but if I Terra Grass to resist the, well, they're going to Volt Switch into the Tornadus anyway, but if I Terra Grass to resist Miraidon attack, Miraidon Blast, then I'm weak to Dire Claw. It'd be nice if I had Leech Seed Ice Rider right now, but I don't. Just go Palkia. I will Spatial Rend the Dondozo immediately, trying to cover for that Tatsugiri switch in. And Glacial Lance in case they don't switch to Tatsugiri, I guess. Get high horsepower this Sneasler slot. Maybe it's worth. Okay, I'll do that. I'll feel silly if the Tatsugiri switches in and Calyrex does nothing, but Calyrex isn't doing much if the Tatsugiri switches in anyway. So what does it matter? They actually just protect Dondozo here on the Spatial Rend. Close combat into Palkia does a lot. But hey, Sneasler throws away its defense boost, so that's nice. It gets knocked out by high horsepower. Calyrex gets the +1 attack. Dondozo will immediately ignore that. But the Miraidon is back first. Protect Palkia this turn and Glacial Lance. They're electric. What's it going to do? Volt switch into Palkia. Okay, good. Okay, doesn't KO. But now I know that Palkia can quick Spatial Rend into Miraidon. I think this is where they switch Tatsugiri in, right? Because this is the end of my Tailwind. I don't have another turn of Tailwind after this. Alright. Yeah, I'll risk that. I'll read the Tatsugiri switch in. There's no Tatsugiri switch in. I lose Palkia. Now Tatsugiri comes in. But I did get Dondozo to low HP. I don't have the Spatial Rend crit into it anymore. I do have Ivy Cudgel, but of course that's resisted. Probably better off clicking Horn Leech. It is stacking defense boosts with the pink form Tatsugiri. Rupee form. Oh, maybe I get a Horn Leech crit. I can set Trick Room here, right? Because I'll be slower. Will I be slower than Dondozo? I'll be slower than Tatsugiri and Miraidon. Tailwind is up. If I get rid of Dondozo quickly enough, then the Trick Room can win the game against Miraidon, and otherwise I'll probably just lose to it. Okay. I've convinced myself. Dondozo just protects this turn. They have used their Terra, so there won't be any surprise Terra type coming out from the Dondozo. I'll just throw the best matchup attacks I have into it. That means it's not going to Terra Steel and open up the door to an Ivy Cudgel crit or something, unfortunately. High horsepower does 10%. Of course, it is boosting its defense. Get more. That Horn Leech did decent damage, though. I think I can knock out this Dondozo before the end of Trick Room. Only a little bit before the end, but again, it probably makes the difference between losing to Miraidon and at least not losing to Miraidon, even if I still lose the game. Nope, they knock out Ogerpon with the Body Press. Did they show Body Press before? No, that was their first time showing it, but maybe I could have anticipated it when they had the defense boosting Tatsugiri. If Ogerpon had landed that attack, I think I won the game, but yeah, they did just knock it out there, and I will go ahead and lose to Dondozo now. How many losses is that? 2 or 3? I don't remember, but I have decided I will continue to play until I see, at least until I see an opponent without Miraidon. And we'll see what Palkia can do if Miraidon is not ruining its day. Oh, this one doesn't have Miraidon. Look at that. It took 5 games. 80% of my opponents in this session have had Miraidon. But this one finally doesn't. And they accepted open team sheets. Mystic Water Kyogre with no Calm Mind. That's interesting. Okay. They do have Raichu. That's their electric type menace here. This one has Tailwind, and they have Zacian. So it's still not a fun time for Palkia. But we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna Palkia Tornadus. I can Tailwind, I can Rain Dance, I can Surf, Terra Water, Surf. Ogerpon can make their Rapid Strike or Shifu sad potentially. And I don't know if I like Ice Rider in this one. It might be a leave the second restricted home kind of game. It might, you know what? Let's just bring Smeargle. Get another Redirector. Get the Decorate available maybe. Okay, they lead Palkia and or they lead Zacian or Shifu. I'm just gonna Terra Water and Surf. And I can Tailwind, or I can Hard Switch to Ogerpon, or I can Rain Dance. All right, I'm gonna Terra Water, Hydro Pump Zacian and Tailwind. There we go. I still have the Surf available after this turn if Palkia survives. Palkia misses a Hydro Pump. Classic. Just an absolutely classic Pokemon experience there. They'll get boot. Whoa, 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 okay. Life Orb Shanpao. No focus sash. Alright, Palkia. Big damage. Let's see it. Protect both their Pokemon this turn. Do I knock out my own Tornadus? Yes. So now I get Ogerpon in. Or Smeargle, but I'll go Ogerpon. I'll use these remaining Tailwind turns for boosted Water-type damage, wherever I can get it. Try to get that Menace Swords Dance Zacian out of here. Hey, this might be where the Water Spam plan pays off. They switch out the Tianpao. Oh, Terra Grass Zacian. I didn't even check their team sheet for that. He's still almost KO'd, but not quite. Palkia goes down. And now I'm left with Smeargle and Ogerpon. I will click Spore into Kyogre immediately. And honestly, Ivy Cudgel into Zacian. Okay, protects. Probably should have anticipated that. They both protect. Tailwind is over. I mean, it's Mystic Water Kyogre. What do I get from Moody? Lower special defense. Not ideal. Knock Smeargle down to its Sash. But I do get the Spore into Kyogre. I knock Zacian out with an Ivy Cudgel. Boosted by the Rain. Rain is about to end, though, because I set it up with Tornadus. Instead of letting Kyogre set it up, Smeargle takes a speed drop. Not great in this position. We know they have Urshifu and Tianpao in the back. We also know that the Urshifu is U-turn. There's Pow. Is there any downside to terrestrializing Ogerpon here? I mean, the only thing is it loses the immunity to Kyogre's water attacks, but it improves its defensive... Well, also the immunity to Surging Strikes. That's a bigger problem. But the biggest problem yet is that I can't terrestrialize Ogerpon because I already used my Terra. Oops. Never mind. They protect the Tianpao. They're trying to kill the Rain and the Sleep turns. And they do kill the Sleep turns. Ice Beam, knock out Smeargle. And that'll be GG, I think. Crunch does big damage with that Life Orb. We missed the KO on Tianpao with the Rain no longer there, and Ogerpon goes down. Yeah, Palkia, Ogerpon, maybe not it. I don't know how that Grand Challenge opponent did with the duo, but this is certainly one of the teams that I've built of all time in this series. And that was Palkia in the current metagame. If fewer than 80% of your opponents have Miraidon, I don't know, maybe you can make something work, but it's definitely not the easiest restricted Pokemon to work with right now. But what can I say? At least it has an interesting design in its horse form.